First question goes to Casey Campbell.
Thanks, Matt. Antoine, you had some successes on defense. What was the biggest positive out of the day, and what was one thing you guys have to work
on? I think we just got to work on just making plays when we need to, and getting off the field, being disciplined. Really, because I feel like we were in the right position on a lot of the plays that's going on, and we were just right there. We just got to make the plays. So, and just we got to keep a positive mindset. You know what I mean? They were making plays on us, but we kept fighting. That's a good positive. Guys really kept fighting, kept their heads in the game. Yeah.
Thank you.
For our next question, we'll go to Chris Solari from the Detroit Free Press.
Antoine, the new scheme that you guys are using, can you kind of talk about how that's been to get into with the 5 defensive backs, and when you look at what happened on some of those big scoring plays, how much do you think was alignment? How much do you think was just newness of the scheme?
I honestly don't know. You know what I mean? It looked as if guys were in the right position most, if not all the time. You know what I mean? So we just got to make plays. You know what I'm saying? I mean, those guys are on scholarship too. We're on scholarship. We just got to make plays.
And as a follow with that, the scheme itself, how do you feel that you guys have embraced that?
I think we've embraced it well. You know what I mean? We're playing hard. We're running everything. They're sending it to us. There's no issues. We don't disagree or none of that. You know what I mean? Whatever they call or send in, whatever they install, we're going to run it. We're going to have the right attitude, and that's just what we're going to do.
For our next question, we'll go to Lindsey Huddleston.
Yes, Antoine. So much has happened since February, new changing of the guard, and, of course, the pandemic. How much, this being your first game, how much does that play a role into what you guys can do going forward coming off the first game that you played?
We got a lot of room for improvement. We can come back. We're going to come back next week with like a completely different team. We got to clean up our play. We shot ourselves in the foot a lot today, like a lot. So we really have to clean up our play, play smarter, play harder, play with an edge, bring energy. We started out flat. That's why things got out of control on us quick, but we kept fighting. You know what I mean? We were able to stay in the fight. So we just got to clean up our play, make plays, and play harder.
As a quick follow-up, is this going to be driven by the players or the coaches or both?
Everybody, the whole program. We're all moving forward. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Great, thank you.
For our next question, we'll go to Seth Wells at WILX. Seth, you're on mute.
Sorry about that. This obviously wasn't the Spartan Stadium that you're used to. The cardboard cutouts in the stands, no band, no cheerleader, stuff like that. What was this experience like for you with such a empty Spartan Stadium?
To me, it felt like a normal game. You know what I'm saying? We just had to bring a little bit more energy on the sidelines. But I know I personally wasn't paying attention to no crowd, or it didn't feel any different or anything like that, because nothing takes away from the game. You know what I'm saying? It's not like the crowd has a direct impact on the game. It's between the players, between both teams, and yeah.
For our next question, we'll go to Matt Charbonneau with the Detroit News.
Antoine, I know you guys work on sudden change, quick changes a lot, but the turnovers, especially early, keeping your own end, how difficult were those to deal with? I know the one inside the 5 is tough.
Can you speak up, please?
I'm talking about the turnovers, how difficult it is to adjust to those turnovers, especially deep in your own end. What was it like kind of, dealing with that, especially in the first half with all those turnovers?
Oh, we just got to play ball. You know what I mean? We just got to play ball. Adversity is going to happen in football games. We just got to finish. You know what I'm saying? We're in good situations. We might have got the ball on the short end of the field, but it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? We had them on 3rd downs. We had them on 4th downs. We just got to finish. You know what I'm saying? We got to make plays. We were right there as a defense. Whatever they threw at us, we were there. You know what I mean? We were there. We just got to make plays. We got to finish.
We have time for 2 more. for Antoine. First one goes out to Chris Solari again with the free press.
Yeah, you mentioned about a lot of the positives. I mean, you got some turnovers today as well, and you got pressure on the quarterback. I guess leading into next week, how critical are those elements, and what other things do you feel like you need to work on most in this week?
Um, uh, we just got to be more together as a team. You know what I'm saying? Really leaning on one another, feeding off each other, playing for each other. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's not like really any systematic errors or we're being outplayed or anything. Like I said earlier, we're just shooting ourselves in the foot. You know what I mean? We got to clean up our play on defense and offense, special teams, up and down. You know what I'm saying? So we got to come next week with a work attitude. We are going to come next week with a work attitude, with the right mindset, and we're going to get better this week.
Last question for Antoine will go from Matt Wenzel at M Live.
Hey, Antoine, I was wondering, what was Mel Tucker's message to you guys in the locker room after the game? What did he talk about? What did he address?
Stay positive, keep working. You know what I mean, that's all we can do. We can't look back. The more we look back and dwell on this loss, it's going to affect us later on down the line. And this week, following week, we got a big game coming up this week, and that's what we got to focus on. That's the next thing. After tonight, we're on to Michigan. There's no going back to Rutgers or watching the film, seeing how we can do better. It's Michigan. It's Michigan come tomorrow morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Antoine.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
We should be joined by Coach Tucker here shortly. After Coach Tucker is done, what's likely going to happen is you'll have this link with some players and then the other link that was in Ben's email with some other players. So we'll be communicating who is on what link so you can bounce around if needed.
So just 2 links active at that time, then they're not going to be separate rooms in them.
They are two completely different links. Yes.
Got it.
At this point, we'll go ahead and we're joined by Coach Mel Tucker. Coach, if you'd like to make an opening statement.
Yeah. First of all, I'd like to thank our staff, our medical personnel, our trainers, and our doctors, and what they've done and what they've continued to do throughout this process to even give us a chance to be able to go out and compete and go out there and play. And they've done a heck of a job, and will continue to do so. I know our fans expect more from this football team than what we showed today, and we expect more out of ourselves. There's a higher standard, and so we've got work to do. We got work to do. We're gonna watch the tape. We got a lot of corrections we need to make, and we'll make those corrections. You usually make the most improvement between your first and your second game, and then we got a big game. We got Michigan next week, and so that'll be our focus. We'll control what we can control, and continue to move forward. This is the beginning. This is not the end, and this is a process. And I know that, and our staff knows that, and we know what we have to do to continue to take steps to play the type of football that we are expected to play, up to the standard that we need to play. But with that, I'll take any questions that you have.
Coach, our first question goes to Justin Rose from WXYZ.
Hey, Mel, some of the mistakes out there, the turnovers, the penalties, self-inflicted stuff, I mean, was that surprising to you? It seemed like the message we kind of felt like we got out of your camp was that you guys were going to be process-driven and kind of take care of what you can control, and then those things kind of reared up all game long.
Yeah, I mean, those were disappointing. Obviously, turnover margin is the largest determining factor in winning and losing games, college and pro. And we talk about it all the time, the ball. Taking care of the football and taking the ball away on defense. And you turn the ball over 7 times, you're not. It's gonna be tough to beat anyone. You're not going to be able to beat good teams. You're not going to be able to beat any teams when you do that. And I also would like to give Greg Schiano and Rutgers, give them credit. Give them credit where credit is due. They did what they had to do. They made enough plays. They played hard for 60 minutes, and they out executed us. But yeah, I was disappointed, and that we're all disappointed. But those are all things that are correctable. And so, we'll go back to the drawing board.
We'll go out to Lindsey Huddleston for the next question.
Yeah, tough loss, Coach. Somewhat of a follow-up to the first question. How much can you contribute to the mental aspects of the game compared to the technical aspects? Are those one and the same for you right now?
Yeah, well, they're they go hand in hand. A lot of the game is mental, even though this is a very physical game. But our mental disposition towards competing, I saw our guys, they continue to play, for 60 minutes, continue to fight and work to score and get stops and things like that. And so, that's a good sign. And, there was energy, there was fire, there was want to on the field, on the sideline, and in the locker room after the game. There was passion, there's desire, and there was a a football character about this team that I do appreciate. You know, they take coaching, they work hard, and when you do those types of things, good things are going to happen. We have to stay with our process. Okay, we have to correct our mistakes, and because our guys are coachable, we respect them. They respect our staff. We will be able to make those corrections, and we'll be able to improve. And that's going to start right away. And our guys understand that. And so I'm looking forward to watching this film. Seeing where we need to improve, making those corrections. And getting ready for Michigan.
Great, thank you, Coach.
Yeah, thank you, Lindsay.
For our next question, we'll go to Matt Charbonneau with the Detroit News.
Mel, I was curious how you would gauge the play of Rocky the way he played today, and not only that, the inability really to kind of establish the run early on, how much that affected you as well.
Yeah, first, and offensively, our philosophy is we want to be able to run the ball on our terms, and we weren't able to do that today. And so, that makes it tough because when you're somewhat one-dimensional, it's hard to be successful. I thought Rocky did some good things out there. I mean, if you look at his stats, 31 for 44, 319, three touchdowns. I mean, that's pretty good production. I know there was a turnover early in the game, but we'll have to watch the film. I think there was some miscommunication there, and obviously at the end he's trying to make a play, and so I think he showed really good leadership in this game. He continued to play the next play. He played tough. He played physical. And he continued to fight. And so, and he's going just like the rest of the players. He's going to continue to improve. We're going to coach him just like we coach the rest of these guys on some of the mistakes that they made, and then we'll work to get better this week.
For our next question, we'll go to Jamal Spencer with WZZM.
Mel, what went into the decision to go for it on 4th and 3 late in the game when you were down 11 instead of kicking a field goal to try to go down 8? What went into that decision to go for it on 4th and 3?
Yeah, we were just looking to be aggressive. We thought that was something that we could convert. We missed a fourth down early in the game, but we came back on another 4th down and scored a touchdown. And so, we were still down a couple scores. And so, going for it on 4th down when you got, 1, 2, 3 yards to go is not that much. It's not unusual, in this day and age of football, especially when you're trying to be aggressive, you're trying to score points, and when you're down in the game, when you're down a couple scores. So, we're just, want to be aggressive, and it didn't work out for us.
For our next question, we'll go to Stephen Brooks with 24/7 Sports.
Hey Mel, I was curious what you thought of, or what you think about where your guys are in terms of absorbing this defense and being able to play it fast. It seemed like it looked like there's a lot of communication going on and maybe some slower play and some confusion, I guess, at times. Just in terms of absorbing the defense and letting them go at 100 miles an hour, where do you think they are in that regard?
Did you say defense?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Obviously, our guys have learned our scheme, and communication is a big part of playing defense, also playing offense. And I thought our guys communicated. We were able to substitute. We were concerned about the pace of play and how fast they were able to go, but we were able to get lined up and get in position to make plays. And so we have to do a better job tackling. Obviously we're in position to make some plays and then make them. And then in coverage, we have to stay on top and make sure we don't give up big plays in the passing game. But we're going to have communication on our defense. we're going to give calls, get calls. We'll make checks. We'll do things. And as long as guys are lined up when the ball's snapping, they know what their assignment is, then we should be okay. But it's going to be more about the execution when the ball snaps, on how to play a technique, be in a position to make tackles, things like that. That's really what that's going to be about. But I felt like our guys were confident in our game plan, and we were able to execute quite a bit in the game, and we were able to get some 3 and outs, some critical times, and I thought the guys played really hard. But we got a lot of work to do. We need to improve, and I expect to see that improvement throughout this week and getting ready for Michigan.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Our next question comes from Chris Solari at the Detroit Free Press.
Hi, Mel. You used, I think, 5 running backs today. Can you kind of break down that position and why start Connor over Elijah and what's going on with Elijah?
Yeah, well, I've said all along that we want to play multiple backs. In our depth chart and our rep chart is fluid, and it's based upon production and practice. And we grade every practice and in every scrimmage, and it's being able the ability to run the ball, ability to pass protection, catch the ball out of the backfield, and there's nothing set in stone. And so all of those guys that we played, they have talent, and we're going to play multiple guys. And so I like some things I saw out of some of those guys. I mean, like Jordan Simmons, he's a guy that went in there and showed that he has some burst through the hole and made some plays. And so we got competition at that position, and I think that's a good thing. I mean, you gotta you're going to earn what you get. You're going to earn the carries, you're going to earn your touches, things like that on the practice field, and that's at every position. And so we're going to continue to do that. It's an unselfish group, which is good, and they understand that there's going to be competition every day, and so we'll continue to do that.
So just to clarify, it was a competition issue with Elijah not starting and Connor starting?
No, they all competed. They all competed very hard during our camp and gave great effort and worked really hard. And the guys that earned the right to play, they played in the game. And so you saw all those guys that were out there, they deserved to play because of the work that they put in.
We have time for 2 final questions, starting with Matt Wenzel at MLive.
Hey Mel, we've heard a lot about Jaden Reed as far as potential wise. What did you see from him today? Obviously with the production and then also the 2 costly turnovers there.
Yeah, obviously you see Jaden can make plays. He's an explosive athlete. He can make plays in the return game on special teams, and obviously as a receiver, he can make guys miss. He's got really good hands, and he's got good burst and acceleration. And so, obviously we need to take care of the football, and ball security is we put a premium on that. Those are things that can be corrected and will be corrected. And he's not a player that you see putting the ball on the ground in practice. And so I know that that we can get that cleaned up. But obviously he's a weapon for us. He's hard to cover, and he can make plays. And we're going to continue to work with him and continue to move him forward and get him where he needs to be.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And our last question is going to go to Jim Comparoni at Spartan Mag.
Hey, Mel, you preach the importance of ball security throughout practice, and we've heard you talk about that in your radio show and so forth. But when you're on the sideline and it's happening, how do you respond to that? How disheartened do you get about that? And what can you do during a game when those things that you're preaching are just unraveling in that particular category?
Yeah, you just have to continue to play the next play. And, guys, you confront them, you talk to them about it, and then guys go back out there and compete. And so, we'll look at it. We'll see what other types of drills that we can do in practice to help with the ball security. But we work on ball security drills every day. We actually start every single practice with a series of ball security drills. And we grade them and we talk about them, we show them. But today, obviously with, 7 turnovers, I mean, that was very disappointing. And so, we'll figure out some different ways to emphasize ball security and do those this week and get ready for Michigan.
And one other thing, if I can, the offensive line, what did you see as the shortcoming in that area today, or whatever it was with being unable to run on your terms? What did you see? Was the Rutgers defensive line playing better than maybe people expected?
Yeah, well, I have to watch the film and see exactly what happened in the trenches, but just overall, just looking at it, it didn't look like we were able to control the line of scrimmage like we need to. And in order for us to have the type of offense that we need to have, the type of balance that we need to have, we have to be efficient running the ball, whether it's on the perimeter or inside. And so we'll take a hard look at that. And but that's got to happen in order for us to be successful. We have to be more efficient running the football.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for all you do. We'll see you soon.
Another player here.
Jen, were you asking if we would have another player here?
Yes.
Okay, so we will have players here and perhaps on the second one.
Thank you. I'll just stay right here then.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Matt, can you check your email? I have someone back in the office to monitor the second Zoom for me.
Yeah, we're going to try and get permission on the second one. But we might have to, record it the old fashioned way. So.
Oh, they will, you mean? Got it.
All right, at this point,
we're joined by Xavier Henderson. We'll take some questions for Xavier at this time. Our first question goes out to Chris Solari with the Detroit Free Press.
Hi, Xavier. Obviously, it was pretty noticeable. You guys made a pretty significant shift with multiple defensive backs in the backfield. I guess from your vantage point back there, what is the difference from the previous scheme with that, and how do you feel that worked today?
I think the biggest difference between the defense this year and last year is kind of how we keep our leverage, how we leverage the football, and try to not let it get outside of us. I think the defense last year was made to kind of bounce things outside, not let anything inside, and we did a great job of that last year, of not letting the ball run inside on us. This year, we kind of want to lever it up, not really let it run side to side, and come make plays on the ball inside out. And today we did not the best job of that, and that's something we got to work on coming up, and watch the film.
Go next to Stephen.
Hey, Xavier. I wanted to ask you just sort of operationally how you thought things went on the defense. It seemed like we saw a lot of late substitution, a lot of talking between you guys, a lot of late movement pre-snap. Just how fluid do you think it was? The whole thing was from get the call, line up, do your thing.
Yeah.
Just sort of the
I think
cleanliness of it.
Yes, sir. I think it was fluid. I think it was clean, and that's something we work on during practice. Just like Coach Tucker said, their tempo was something we were a little concerned on, so we were really practicing hard on getting substitutions on and off the field. But we were able to do that today. We were able to get the call and really communicate that call throughout the defense who's on the field. And I thought it went well today. There's obviously some things. I don't think there's too many missed assignments. Hopefully now we'll watch the film and see. But the communication is a big part in making sure everyone's got their assignment.
And you felt like that was pretty clear today? Everybody understood, down to down what was going on out there, and it was being communicated properly?
Yes, sir. I think the communication was good. The assignments were good. Just the technique within the assignments can get better.
Thank you.
Go next to Matt Charbonneau.
Xavier, I'm curious how difficult it is to adjust to those early turnovers when your offense turns it over deep in your own end. How tough is that on the defense to kind of adjust to those, especially with so many in that first half?
It is tough, but football is a tough game, and we pride ourselves on being tough players. So that's a challenge that we like to step up to. We were able to hold them to a field goal, I think, on a couple of them. I think they got into the end zone on some of them, but it's a pride thing. It's a toughness thing, and we know that we got the offense back, and they got our back. It's a team. It's a one fluid team, offense, special teams, and defense, and we got to bring that all together coming up.
Please.
And I'm just curious, real quick, how were you surprised at the amount of mistakes?
Hey, Drew, I know you guys, defensively work on sudden change situations during practice. Just wonder how difficult is it when you're kind of starting, defensively so deep in your own end so often in the first half? How often is that to kind of get things going?
When your back's to the wall in sudden change situations, you just kind of buckle it up and tough it out. We're not always going to be put in the perfect situation, so Coach Hazen always tells us, just play your butt off and get yourself out of it, dig yourself out of that hole that you're in. So
We'll go to Joe Dandrin from the State News.
I think whoever had that is muted now.
Mr. Matt, if you wanted to finish your question, if you're still there. If not, I apologize.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to remember where I was. Were you surprised by the amount of mistakes that we saw today? Not as many on the defense, but just overall, did it feel like maybe the strange off season and the limited preparation maybe caught up with you guys a little bit today?
I was surprised, a little disappointed, and that's on myself. That's on the team. We got to get better as a whole, but I think they came out and it looked like they wanted it more than us. That's the biggest thing I was upset about. Even on defense, the first possession they went and drove the field on us. That's the biggest thing I was upset about. I think we fought back real well, but stuff like that happens with a whole coaching staff changes. You know what I mean? And I'm confident that they'll get it on track, and we'll get back to work this upcoming week for sure. I know that.
Thanks, man.
Okay, we've got another question from Brian Goldsmith. Also, Drew Beasley is available on the second stream.
All right, hi. So you guys made a big stop late in the third quarter. What went on with that, and how did you feel that was a momentum changer going forward in the game?
Are you talking about? I think you're talking about the quarterback run, maybe, and they went for it on fourth down. Or it was
yeah.
third down?
They went. It was third down, and you guys were only down by 7 or 8 at the time, and it was one of the last plays in the third quarter.
I got you.
It was like
I know what you're talking about.
it was like Vedral.
Big momentum.
It was okay. So you guys, Vedral ran to the 26 and then got stopped short for two yards, and then you forced them to a 44-yard field goal.
Yeah, that's big. That's big, especially when they get down there towards that red zone. Something we talk about a lot is being clutch, and those are clutch situations. Football is a situational football game, or situational game. I'm sorry, but those are big momentum shifters. It's a game of momentum, and when they get down there, we can hold them. That's big, and maybe we get a hand on the field goal sometime. So that's something we can work on too.
Thank you.
Final question for Xavier is from Chris Solari.
You obviously have a big game coming up next week at Michigan. You have 2 big road games in a row. I guess, how do you put this one behind you? What is going to be the next 24 to 48 hours like to kind of put this in the past?
Well, I think it's easy to put behind us, really. That's something we've been talking about a lot is the next play. And the last play at Rutgers is over. And really the next play is whenever we got to start lifting and getting to practice. That's what I'm worried about. We'll watch the film tonight of the Rutgers game. We'll probably think about the Rutgers game tonight, and tomorrow morning it's next. That's the word we like the most, is next. So it won't be too difficult. We know what we got to do, and we're going to get it done.
Thank you, Xavier.
Thank you, guys.
Jaden Reed is about to start on the other link.
Is this link done, Matt?
That I don't know, Seth.
Excuse me, Matt.
Brian, did you say something?
Yeah, I was curious which link Lombardi was on, if he's available.
It looks like Lombardi's probably going to go on the other link.
All right, thank you.